Hello my lovelies, I hope all is good in your neck of the wood. With the release of Baz Luhrmann's Elvis tomorrow, which is also my birthday, I thought there was no better time than to look at this hunker burning style inspiration and gain some style lessons and tips from the King of Rock and Roll's wardrobe. So today I'm sharing 5 style lessons and tips from Elvis Presley. I've broken down Elvis's iconic style into 5 lessons or tips that will help you, me really, add a little bit of Elvis's hunker style into our everyday wardrobe. The first style tip from Elvis Presley is the signatures. We really need to talk about the hair. Elvis's quiff, or pompadour quiff as it was known, is an incredibly iconic hairstyle. Yes, there were lots of other people doing the hair, but somehow on him it really looked spectacular. When it comes to hair, Elvis, like many things in his life, was basically go big or go home. He was naturally a blonde and he started dyeing his hair in the mid-50s when a makeup artist suggested that it would really make his features, especially his baby blues, pop on screen. There are many wardrobe pieces that we could look at, but I am focusing on the iconic Cuban or Cabana shirt. Hawaiian shirts, and Elvis donned many of these on screen, and also bowling shirts were very fashionable at the time, but Elvis himself preferred the Cuban style shirt. Elvis made the Cabana shirt his own, which had quite a boxy shape, really suited his athletic frame, and he wore the sleeves rolled up, adding a little bit of rebellious je ne sais quoi to the wearing of this classic, which is still a huge wardrobe staple today. I am certainly wanting to make some kind of Cuban style or bowling style shirt. I've just found this pattern right here by Simplicity, the Simplicity 9157, to make for your hunker burning love, whoever that may be in your life. Another Elvis signature was the wearing of snazzy socks and penny loafers. Elvis had a really flamboyant sense of style when it really comes down to it, and his socks were often patterned, they were often bold in colour, and they always complemented the colours in his clothes. For example, these geometric patterned socks that picked out the colour and styling of the Cuban style shirt Mr. Presley is wearing here. And often he would match his socks to maybe details on his belt or other accessories. So this is a very clever style lesson. If you're a sock person or a tights person, why not add a little bit of Elvis flamboyance and go really colourful, go really bold, and pick out colours in your outfit and match them to the colours in your socks or legwear. This image of Elvis sitting in this room is one of my favourites, because if you are matching your socks to the entire decor of the room that you are sitting in, well, that is peak sockage as far as I'm concerned. Early Elvis, I'm calling him Jailhouse Rock Elvis, always wore amazing shoes as well and made the penny loafers incredibly popular. The spectator shoes, the lace-up brogues, which he also wore a lot, were de rigueur at the time. He chose the penny loafer as his shoes of choice, and I'm really feeling like I need some penny loafers in my life. I'm going to be checking out the local thrift and charity shops to see if I can find a pair in my size to add a bit of Elvis Presley style into my everyday casual wardrobe. The next signature look is sunglasses. Did anybody wear sunglasses quite like the King himself? Often pictured in sunglasses, but most famously the later Elvis, jumpsuit Elvis, wore these Nautic 2s, which were custom made by a German company called Neo Style. You can still buy these glasses today. Elvis had his custom made with gold frames and diamond encrusted, no less. So if your budget allows, why not? My favourite thing here though is that the lenses were pink. Elvis loved pink. What better way to make everyday lovely with a rosy glow than to have sunglasses with a pink lens. I am going to be getting some pink lens sunglasses as soon as I possibly can. The second lesson that we can get from Elvis Presley's iconic look is smile with your whole being. By that I mean accentuate your best bits. One of the things, if you look at Elvis, is that he knew how to frame his face. With the black hair, the increasing size sideburns, and the undone shirts and popped collars, he knew how to frame this moneymaker, because however much you love Elvis's music, it's always this beauty that he knew was getting him the music sales. Also, he knew how to accentuate the other parts of him that were being admired, namely the hips. Elvis knew that a well-cut trouser really was one of his best friends, and even Jumpsuit Elvis knew what his best asset was. Pun totally intended. So whatever your best feature, accentuate the bejesus out of it. Elvis was famous for his full and luscious pout, only adding to his charms, in my opinion, and he was often seen with a petulant snarl. But I like smiling Elvis, because when he smiled, it was with a kilowatt brightness, and it lit up his really rather handsome face. One of the best beauty tips that I can give is don't play cool, don't be petulant, don't do the Elvis snarl, do the Elvis smile. Smile with every single ounce of your being, because really there's nothing more fabulous. The third style lesson from Elvis is don't be afraid to shine. And boy, did Elvis know how to bling bling the bling bling out of his bling. I will certainly be adding some metallic or sparkly fabrics into my autumn wardrobe. The iconic gold suit that Elvis wore in his early days of fame was made by the tailor to the country and western stars Nudie Cohn, and Elvis actually didn't like this suit because apparently it was very uncomfortable to wear when he was doing all his manoeuvrements on stage. But it certainly made an impact, and I am thinking some kind of gold lame would be rather spectacular for some kind of occasion dress. Let's face it, Elvis made every day an occasion, so I'm thinking I'll be wearing quite a lot of bling every day from now on. And then of course we have Las Vegas Elvis, Jumpsuit Elvis, and all I can say is, can 10,000 Elvis impersonators be wrong? The fourth, and possibly my most favourite Elvis style tip and lesson, is express yourself. Elvis had a unique way of dressing and putting garments together, and at the time he was really defying convention. There were expectations as to how men should dress and what they should be wearing, and it was seen as a very girly pursuit to enjoy clothes and to be dressing in a flamboyant way. He really did blaze a trail for all the people who came behind and decided that they were going to express their unique sense of personal style, and that is a message that I really love. One of the things that Elvis loved to do to go with the black hair was to wear mascara, and if it was smudgy, all the better. It just made him look even more sexy. At the time, a man wearing mascara would really have been shocking. He ignored the trends, the consensus, the rules, and if he liked it, he went for it. And that is a lesson that we can quite seriously take for ourselves. Don't worry about what you're supposed to be wearing, or the colour that you should be wearing, or the hemline, what that should be. Go with what you like. If there is a trend that you like, just find a version of it that works for you and fits into your life and makes you feel the very best version of yourselves. Elvis had a penchant for bright colours, including pinks, which was a definite no-no in the conservative 1950s. Pink had been a colour that men had worn throughout history, but in 1950s America, and probably much of the rest of the Western world, pink was seen as a girl's colour, and Elvis rocking this incredible pink blazer was really a very shocking thing at the time. It's easy in hindsight now to look back and not really understand how groundbreaking the way he presented himself actually was. He quite often wore fabrics that were also considered girly. He loved a bit of velvet, he loved lace, even having his beloved cabana shirts made up in these fabrics. One of my favourite items that I have found that he wore is this jumper with a split sleeve and a sort of bow detail going all the way down the sleeve. I really admire Elvis for his bravery in the way that he wanted to dress himself. The fifth and final style tip and lesson from Elvis Presley's iconic look is pattern clash. As much as he was a showman on stage, he was also a showman in his wardrobe. He loved matching, or should I say mismatching, prints. So stripes with checks, reds with pinks. I think one of his real skills, because he didn't have a stylist at this time, was to create a story with his outfits. So the way that the shirt, the trousers, the socks, the shoes, everything created this story. There was real thought and consideration into the items that he was putting together. He showed a real ability and I think talent at putting together clothes, and I sort of think about the way in which Gucci and Alessandro Michele now puts things together and clashes and mismatches and so on. I think Elvis would most definitely be wearing a bit of Gucci if he were alive today. Everything that Elvis did sartorially was a statement. He was flamboyant and he used the stage and his everyday life to express the unique person that he was. And I feel that this is the best style tip that we can take from all of these little lessons that I've put together for you today. What I especially love about Elvis was that he wanted things, so he got them custom made. And as dressmakers, we can custom make our own things. So the fantasy has no limit as far as we are concerned. If you want to wear an Elvis jumpsuit, you can make yourself an Elvis jumpsuit. What might you make for yourself inspired by Elvis Presley? I'd really love to know. So thank you very much for spending time with me today in my little cottage by the sea, talking all things Elvis Presley and my 5 style tips and lessons inspired by the King of Rock and Roll. I hope that wherever you are in the world, my lovelies, you're keeping safe and well, and I will see you for a sewing adventure very soon. And that just leaves one thing for me to say. Thank you very much. Bye.